My name is Duddy, set up builds and stuff. Today's video is about a very special shotgun from the epic raid. It's called the Starscape Null. This thing with trench barrel and aggregate charge is an absolute monster. I'm going to go over a couple of roles that I've got, including aggregate charge, where we're going to get a massive damage debuff on enemies as well. We will look at a trench barrel with ranged melee attacks for 113% damage increase. We're going to be pairing up a protractor cannon. Some other things as well, like no backup plans for absolutely crazy damage increase, stacking damage. Swarmers, these work nicely with Cauterized darkness as well. We're going to proc that. This is why Trench Barrel gets a big buff in this build. And Swarmers, like I said, with the Arcane Needle, which will apply a debuff for the Cauterized darkness. Trench Barrel range melee is applying that debuff for Cauterized, and Trench Barrel is an absolutely humongous damage increase. Then this shotgun feels immense, so stay with me, I'll break it down. So the Starscape Null, it's lightweight frame, 80 rounds per minute. I've got various rules of this. I'm going to go over the ones that I like. You get this from the epic raid. It drops from a couple of encounters. On here it just says from Latros, the inward turned, but I'm pretty sure I've had it from other encounters, so let me know. The first perk we're going to look at is a trench barrel. Now, after a successful melee hit, this weapon gains increased damage, improved handling, and improved reload for a short duration. It's 50% damage increase. Now, trench barrel got buffed a couple of seasons ago. You can use it with a ranged melee as well. So 918 from the standard shot. Just proc my trench barrel normally, you'll see it times 3, and it's going to shoot up to 1377, which is a 50% damage increase. We're just going to clarify that number one more time. Again, I'm just using the standard melee. So all the way up to 1377, that's 50%. That's the trench barrel. I just wanted to get that number out the way. Now, trench barrel, like I said, about 2 years ago, it got buffed. It now works with range melee, so Arcane Needle is the first obvious choice because this unravels as well, and this is like a superb melee. You can use it from anywhere. Add in Facet of Dawn, it's going to make you radiant as well, so there's an extra 20% damage on top of your trench barrel, so that makes your trench barrel about 70 odd percent, which is very, very nice. But if you add in Cauterized Darkness against champions or anything that's not a boss, that is also going to give you an additional 30%, which will stack with your Radiant and Trench Barrel. So we're going to take a look at the numbers now. I've applied the Unravel 2147. So basically, in this little short clip, one little melee is applying Cauterized Darkness, 30%, Radiant, 20%, and your Trench Barrel. So you're going to see this number ramp up now, 2147. So that's an absolutely humongous 133% damage increase. So just to clarify, ranged trench barrel, Cauterized darkness, radiant, all stacking together. This is trench barrel. Trench barrel rolls on a couple of solar shotguns, I believe. So if you've got a solar shotgun with trench barrel, that is also going to receive the exact same buff. Absolutely huge. Now, this is where this weapon stands out quite a bit to me because it's got the origin trait on their frame of reference. Final blows with this weapon temporarily grant increased damage, reload speed, and range. This effect is stored once you put it away, so it like stores in time. You can keep this stored away, get a couple of kills. Now, frame of reference sort of works like this. It gives you a ramp up to 10% damage increase. As far as I know, 10%. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it's 10%, and you're going to see on the bottom left, this frame of reference, you just build it up, and this is all going to add towards everything you've already seen. So all your trench barrel, all your Cauterized, your radiant, and things like that. And you can actually put that shotgun away, and it lasts forever, basically. As long as you keep it away, that timer will stay the same. So frame of reference is an exceptional origin trait. Now, obviously, the radiant that you can use with your melee. We've got things on the seasonal artifact perk like Favor and Chill, where you're going to be able to keep your radiant going all the time with a solar weapon. Of course, this shotgun is a solar weapon, so we're going to be able to keep that going. We've got like things from the raid as well, the collective psych set. This is going to give you increased suspend, unravel, sever, and radiant and restoration effects. So The 4-piece actually gives you Ember of Solace and Ember of Continuity for free. On this particular build, I'm on Prismatic. I'm going to show you what it does for Prismatic. Now, Prismatic melee with Facet of Dawn, your Radiant only lasts usually for 5 seconds, but with the Collective Psych set, it's going to give you it for 8 seconds. And when you're on Solar, it improves it up to 15 seconds without them fragments. And not only that, it's also improving all of your Unraveling and Sever effects as well, which is obviously great for your Arcane Needle. So getting an extra couple of seconds on Radiant makes quite a big difference. The next thing I want to look at is Cauterized Darkness, a very underrated debuff in my opinion. For any solo weapons, your Cauterized Darkness will do extra damage if they're affected by a Strand or Stasis debuff. Now this is where Swarmers come into play, because your Tangles will unravel targets. So you're going to be able to unravel your targets consistently with Swarmers, which is always going to be able to keep that Cauterized Darkness going all of the time. So it's a really nice little combo. I did a full video on this not so long back, so I'm not going to do a full-on build for Swarmers in this video, but I will link a video that I did, which it pretty much takes advantage of Cauterized Darkness. So obviously with Swarmers, we know how they work, but I'll do a real brief little sort of show off what to do. Just throw your Threadlings, whether that's from your class ability, your Weaver's Call, or your Grenade, and you're just going to be able to unravel targets left, right, and centre, unravel multiple targets, and of course that Collective Psych set is going to give you that improved unraveling. This is just an option. There is other gear sets to build into this as well, but unraveling, Tangles, Threadlings everywhere, keeping that Cauterized Darkness up all of the time. And now, back to the Trench Barrel. Again, bearing in mind, you've got all that damage going on, all that unraveling effects and that extra radiant damage. You get a Trench Barrel going, and things just start schmelting. You've also got things to take into account, like the Wolfsbane Sword. This is going to benefit from Cauterized Darkness as well. It's just something you can throw into the mix as well if you're running a shotgun. Close quarter builds. You'll be able to destroy things with your Swarmers, keeping that unraveling effect going. Now, like I said, this is actually a really good combo with the sword on this shotgun, because you're up close anyway. Get your Trench Barrel procs, switch between that and your sword. Whatever sword you're using, you can also use other solar swords as well. But once you've got Trench Barrel going, this shotgun turns into a different animal, especially with that Cauterized. It just starts melting things. Honest to God, it is so strong. And a quick last little clip of Swarmers working. As we know, you create a Threadling army with Swarmers. It is just a little option. Like I said, I will leave a video link at the end of this video as well. So back to the shotgun Trench Barrel. As you can see there, things are just getting melted. The second option I want to look at is Aggregate Charge on this shotgun. This weapon deals more damage for each elemental debuff applied to the target. I've also got other things on there like Reconstruction. Now, Incandescent is a very interesting one, because this is going to scorch targets when you get a kill. That infinitely procs Aggregate Charge, if we think about it, because you're always going to be applying Incandescent to killed enemies as long as you're in a group. So you've got an infinite proc of Aggregate Charge with Incandescent. I've also got 1-2 punch on this one, but the one I will be looking at mostly is Aggregate Charge. Like I said, you get 11% per debuff, which is a very good perk. So again, we're just going to do the same thing. Check the damage number on this Ogre, bearing in mind is not unstopped, so 2421. All I'm going to do is add no backup plans into the mix, put a Void Overshield down on your Titan, and you're going to get a 35% damage increase with your shotguns, which is a very good shotgun exotic. Obviously great for open play and DPS situations. So put my Void Overshield down, and you're going to see that number ramp up again all the way to 326. This is just showing the backup plan's damage increase, 35.2%. So get that number out of the way, and then obviously you know what's coming next. We're going to test the Aggregate Charge. This weapon deals more damage for each elemental debuff applied. It's 11% per debuff. However, if you run it with the old mighty Tractor Cannon, this adds Weakening, which is a debuff, 30%, and it also suppresses. So this actually gives you 2 debuffs for your aggregate charge. It gives you the weakening 30% and the suppression. So if you look on that bottom left, you're going to see aggregate charge ×2, and the number jumps up to 516, which is absolutely massive for a backup plans build. So 241 to 516, that's 114% damage increase. All I'm doing is putting my Void Overshield down and using my tractor cannon. That is just another option for a DPS situation. Very, very nice shotgun. Let me know what you guys think of this video and the shotgun if you've got any of the rules. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.